go to work, bitch.
Welcome, this is part 2 of the vlog today. Right now it's 5:30 a.m. It's super early, I got no sleep last night, so it's okay. It's 5:30, it's 5:29, July 8th. Right now I'm in the back of the van, trying to catch a nap. The sun's starting. We will arrive at our destination at 3 p.m. Mind you, it is 5:30 a.m. right now. So we still have like 8 more hours to go. Catch you guys later. Okay, so let's get started. There's sidewalks right here.
Hurry up, all you guys come sit. I'll get your picture. No. Hurry up, go sit.
I don't think this can work.
There's a little red button on the side.
She's clicking it, it won't work.
Really?
Take Sean's.
Nay, no.
Oh, you want one?
Yeah, I want one.
Alright, go sit.
What should I do?
Just wait. Go sit. We'll tell him. Go sit up there so I think.
Yeah, this is cool.
Oh,
We're going
You
into
don't have to go in there. Just sit.
we're going into like a half-mile long cave. There's bats in here.
Are you sure?
More than likely.
Alright. Smile.
Let me see, Nathan, let me see your lantern. Yours works.
Hey guys, smile.
Guys, don't go past that loop. Come back here.
There's an entrance of some sort in here.
Ready?
Through, it just burned an overburdened forest. So that's why it burned so much. So when it came through here, it got real close to the cabin up there, and so they put that bubble wrap stuff around the cabin to help protect it. And then the visitor center over there, it got real close to the visitor center, and they took all the computers and documents and put it in the cave. So, yeah. So it came real close, but they were able to save it. And some of this, as you see the scarring, that's going to be from controlled burns and prescribed burns. But you see this packs of trees packed up on the sides of the roads, that's the United States Forest Service. And they're doing conservation. We're doing preservation. So we're not going to go in and touch any of this, replant it, or tear it down. The Forest Service will. Because these dead trees, these will stand here for decades. So they're going to go in and cut out those dead trees just because it's so dry out here. Now back in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, there'll be a rotted out log in a couple of years. So, yeah. So they'll cut those dead ones down because they're just fuel waiting for a fire. Yeah.
Oh, and they won't replant or they will?
They will not. No. Any other questions about the forest or? Like I said, any for fire. And that started northwest of here near Jasper Cave. And it was started by a woman in Newcastle, Janice Stevenson. She came on an August afternoon day, took a big wad of newspaper, threw it on the side of the road, and took off. Well, it sparked up into the largest wildfire in Black Hills history. 84,000 acres was burned. Authorities had caught up with her. They had, she confessed to starting the fire. She served 17 years in the big house, and she just got out this year. So, while you guys are out and about in the Black Hills, if you see any fires starting up.
Coming up on the gate entrance. This is it, isn't it? Air conditioning system that doesn't cost a dime.
Oh, I definitely feel that.
Put your coat
way.
on. Because you're going to be cold.
Oh, dude,
He's always cold.
they're so cold.
Come out here. I think it's hot now. Come out here after 3 hours. Like, oh my gosh. It's so hot.
I definitely
All right.
feel that way.
You feel it? Yeah. Now, the story of Jewel Cave, it begins in the year 1900. And that's when a couple of cowboys, Frank and Albert Michaud, are trotting their horses from over in Newcastle, Wyoming, and they're headed into Custer City. and they're trotting right along the floor of Hell's Canyon right here, and they hear a whistling noise up above the canyon. They come up to investigate, and they come across a hole that's whistling air out of it, really similar to today. They couldn't squeeze inside that hole, so they headed back to their father's ranch, and they returned with a big bag full of dynamite. They threw a couple sticks of dynamite in there, blew open that hole, excavated it, opened an entrance, and they had stumbled across a cave. Now before we go in, you guys over here, if you want to scoot on over so you can see this cave gate. This cave gate here is not the one that the CCC built. We had to take it down and build a new one because the one that the Civilian Conservation Corps built for us had vertical bars. Why couldn't we have vertical bars? Animals, specifically
Dogs.
bats, right? Because the bats, they can fly in and out really easily. When they were vertical bars, it made it really tough for them to fly in. So they have to get real low and scoot in. Well, there was a feral cat that was living out here. So when those bats would swoop down low, he would scarf them up. So we made a new gate. All right, come on in, my friend. You have entered into a blasted hole in the canyon. Come on in.
All right, go guys.
All right, head up right there, buddy. Take a stop. Thank you, sir.
Hang on, I'm gonna turn on my flashlight
There's
for
a
this.
fridge down here.
Hang on.
That's a fridge.
Where has this been all day?
Except my man.
All right, exposure has to go down if I'm gonna.
I'm gonna.
Exposure's all the way up.
They definitely. You could use this
It's all the way down.
Right
What?
now, I'm locking the gate right here because we are on the Canyons Trail. I just don't want anyone to come on in without us knowing about it. If for any reason today whatsoever, you don't even need a reason, if you need to leave the cave, please come up and let me know. I will let you out, not a problem, okay? Not a problem. Now, a couple things here. With our hats, if you've got hat on, you can spin it around backwards. Just that there's a lot of little clearances. I can also hold on to them. Sunglasses, yeah, the only thing they can do is break down here. So, I will hold on to those. There you go, guys. Anything else? Anything else, guys? This is gonna make a look on it.
Use it as a flashlight.
All right, so with our lanterns here, what we're gonna do is, with the oil lanterns, of course, what you're gonna wanna do is there's oil on the bottom here, so you've gotta keep it level. So keep it level at all times, because if you rock it back and forth, it's gonna slosh back and forth. What the heck? What's up with all these breaking on me? Oh, shoot. Because you mind carrying oil lanterns? Okay. Let's see. Look at that. Now it's
Sean,
on.
look at that bin up there.
Right. All right, go with the oil lanterns, guys. This top part up here is the chimney. It gets real hot, so avoid that part. The sides here you can hold and this handle, okay? But you always want to keep it level at all times so you don't spill that oil out. And then if you could, only those with oil, if you can kick your globe up, pull that lever down and kick that globe up, and then I'll come around and help light up our lanterns. All right. So now those cowboys, when they came into this hole in the ground, they were initially wondered by these sparkles here in the walls and the ceilings that shimmered and shined like jewels. And we'll see a lot more as we continue deeper. But these jewels in the walls and ceilings is what led them to go down to the Custer County Courthouse and fill out a mining permit. And that mining permit, they titled this the Jewel Tunnel Lode. And they titled that because of those jewels in the cave. And that's where it gets the name of Jewel. Well, those cowboys filled out that mining permit because they thought that this stuff was quartz crystal. Why do you think they wanted this stuff to be quartz crystal, guys? What do you think? Yeah, quartz is an early indicator of gold. So they were hoping for some of that Black Hills gold. Well, they quickly came to the realization that this stuff is not quartz crystal, but it is calcite crystal, made of calcium. Same thing as our bones and teeth, right? So if you've got diamonds up here at a 10, hardest mineral on earth. You've got rubies at 9, emeralds at 8, quartz at 7, calcite is bringing up the rear at number 3. Only about as hard as your fingernails are. You know how easy for those to chip and break. Oil lantern. No one else doing in 1900.
Doing the sinking road.
You got it. Selling cave tour tickets. You got it, man. So what they started doing here is leading people into the cave in 1900. They had several years of decent success. Then local leaders in Custer City said, hey, this is a special place and it should be protected. And so on February 7th of 1908, President Theodore Roosevelt declares Jewel Cave as the first national monument that protects a cave and the 13th national monument of the country. But once it was named a national monument back in those days, it doesn't mean what it does today. So those cowboys, they still owned and operated the land up until the 1920s. When Frank passed away, then they sold the land to the Forest Service. And then in the 1930s, Wind Cave Rangers came up to take stewardship of Jewel Cave. Because from 1900, when they opened that hole right here, till 1959, this cave is 1 mile long. That is it. 1 mile. We'll chat much more about that as well. Now when we head down these stairs here, I'm going to move an instrument to our left across the path, and that's on a white box with some antenna coming off of it, making some buzzing noises. It won't zap you or anything, but give me some ideas on what you think.
I'll take you.
You can come down here a little bit.
Take that. 1. You get married. I'll control this one.
Keep on coming in, guys. And then the last person through, if you could please grab that by the white of the box, your last one. Okay, can you grab that white box, scoot it across the path again, please. Won't zap you or anything. It's a little bit tough to move, but.
You go down over here?
All right. What are some ideas? What are some ideas? What do you guys think that is? For bats. It is not for bats. Size of bats. It has something to do with the air.
Measuring the wind?
Measuring the air pressure, air wind, yeah. Because Jewel Cave is a breathing cave, or barometric. You guys can come on a little bit, let those guys come up there. And it's a breathing cave, so that means it's going to respond to the barometric pressure outside. So if you've got a high air pressure system, that means that air outside is bottled up, has to go somewhere. It's going to force itself inside the cave will be inhaling. Conversely, on days like today, if you have a low pressure system outside, all the air from within Jewel Cave wants to escape, and it's going to go right out through that entrance. So the cave is exhaling. So we have a nice low pressure system outside today. There are only 3 entrances into Jewel Cave. The other 2 at the visitor center are both air-locked. So this is the only one where air can move in and out, and bats can fly in and out. This is the only part of the cave where anything is living inside of here. Now, that instrument is an anemometer. It measures air volume, and it has calculated 8.5 billion cubic feet of air within Jewel Cave. So we can make predictions on how much we've explored based on that air volume. So with 189 miles of mapped passageways, 3rd longest cave on Earth, what percentage of Jewel Cave do you think we've explored?
The half?
There you go. 3 to 5%. 3 to 5%, which means that there are hundreds, if not thousands of miles of cave left for all of you, my young friends, to explore. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. All right, guys. So what we're going to do today, we're going to head off towards the heavenly room today, and that's going to be towards this path. And as we're going towards the heavenly room today, there is going to be all the air that is inside a Jewel Cave must come in and out of these hallways right here. There's another little path to the left, and if we have some time, we'll zip down there a little bit, but it dead ends after a little ways, so it's not as long. But this path here to the right, where all that air you feel coming in and out, it is all that 8.5 billion cubic feet of air must come through there.
After they blasted the entrance, did they do any more blasting to get or just?
Nope. Nope, the rest of... Now, I will tell you, before we go any further, those cowboys, they took and sold 3 train carloads of crystal out of this part of the cave. Now, is it real noticeable? Not really, because a lot of it's probably off the floors, because these floors look incredibly pristine for being a cave, right? So I think what they took a lot of was stuff that was already on the floor and things like that. But outside of that, yeah, it's all natural. Awesome. Well, as we go to the heavenly room, what we're going to do is we're going to practice 3 points of contact.
300-foot. Weird. It's a unicorn. Maggie, look, a unicorn fish. That white one. Yeah, it's big giant cosmos. We're coming, come down. This is a shark. Oh, yeah, look, the big giant sea turtle.
Oh, is that real?
Yeah. Oh, look at this. And a dome.
To work we go, yeah, hi-ho, here I go, like a beer I flow, I steer my boat, yes sir, on the track I float, cut slack like rope, drop bars like soap, in the car I toke, cigars and dope, stay fly like a birdie, under par 1 stroke, yeah, you won't